Ethan Winters is the single most powerful Resident Evil protagonist. If he were to train under Chris Redfield, he would be utterly unstoppable. And no, this isn't some hot take. Hi, Slosh from the future. I'm sitting here editing this video and I had to go recapture some footage, and I caught a throwaway line where Ethan admits to having been trained by Chris. So everything I say still stands, but moving forward, when I say he has no training, he has had some. He's had some, which further exemplifies the point of this. Trained, he's fucking unstoppable. He's absolutely unstoppable. Anyway, back to the video. Ethan is capable of reattaching his limbs after decapitation. And give it enough time, he could probably just wake up after being killed. He showed up randomly to a home in Louisiana and completely dismantled the BOW and all of its monstrous creations immediately after getting his abilities, while not knowing he has them. Then shows up to a village full of tried and true BOW experience and wholesale slaughters everything that moves. Ethan is basically a descendant of BJ Blasco. On top of that, he was a doting husband and father. He gave everything for Mia and Rose. And in 2 games, he has overcome so much. But Ethan has gotten the worst of Capcom. Capcom Division 1 lovingly made Ethan. They made him a regular dude. And then just for 2 games, they said, this universe has no place for regular guys. And if you can, at bare minimum, punch a boulder or do feats of acrobatics without mold giving you super regenerative powers, we will bury you. And then they don't even bother to bury Ethan. Bro goes to hell and back for Mia and Rose just to be turned to dust. Like, bro went toe-to-toe with some of the worst things to ever happen to any Resident Evil protagonist, and then just turned to dust. Bro just wanted to hang out with his wife and kid, man. Like, come on. So anyway, before we continue on this this lovely tryst through Ethan's life, I wanted to showcase to you, we have merch now. This is my hat. This is the latest in the shop. You'll see the shop behind me here. We got this great Gator Time shirt. I made that. It's Gator Time. We got all these shirts that have my face. Some of them have my face on them. Some of them just have my glasses. That's cool as hell. You can support the channel while also getting, not shitty looking YouTuber merch. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing cringy, just simple stuff. Also, I have this soap with my face on it. That's pretty rad. So when you wash your ass, you can wash your ass with my face. It's great for my ops and the homies. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, moving on. Please support the channel. Like, subscribe, buy merch. The merch is high. It's high quality merch. I went out of my way to find a print-on-demand shop that prints good merch. It's important to me to have good merch because I've been playing music, most of my life, and I've seen my fair share of bad merch. I've seen what happens to, clothing you keep for a long time, and I wanted to make sure that if you got some of my merch, whether you like me or not, it just lasts. The merch just lasts, and I wanted I want that for you. Anyway, like, subscribe, thumbs up, blah, 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 blah. Moving on. So Mia went missing 3 years before the events of Resident Evil 7. In fact, near the end of the game, we get to live out her final hours on the cargo ship Annabelle. And they were absolutely horrific. When Eveline sent Ethan that message through Mia, he had no idea what was going on. He saw his wife stressed out, beat up, and dirty in a webcam video and decided to risk it all. He was even advised by friends and family to not come, but he did, because he loves his wife more than anything in the world. And I totally relate to that. I don't know about you guys, I would die for my wife. Ethan had no clue of what he was giving up by coming to Louisiana. And he doesn't find out what he gave up till the night he died in Romania. In the first encounter you have with Jack Baker, he kills Ethan. Inadvertently, but still. What no one foresaw, not even Eveline, is that Ethan's body would take to the metamycete, the mold, in case you don't know what it's called, better than any human in known existence. For all intents and purposes and unknown to everyone, Ethan has just become the most powerful BOW in existence. He manages to, with no training, to nearly wipe the Baker bloodline from the planet. Now, Chris kills Lucas in the Not a Hero DLC, and Zoe survives, thanks to Uncle Joe, who makes his first appearance in the End of Zoe DLC, where he saves Zoe Breen from a reanimated Jack. And then Ethan manages to get Chris and the BSAA to return to Louisiana to rescue Zoe. And, the BSAA manages to rescue them both. Now, Ethan did not have to go out of his way to send anyone back to the Baker estate. But he did. He is a deeply, deeply compassionate man, and it's one of his characteristics that make Resident Evil 8 an absolute tragedy. Now, 3 years later, Ethan and Mia have a child. And in the brief time we see of Ethan and Rose together, you can tell that he is completely devoted to his daughter. And in moments, Chris Redfield and his Hound Wolf squad would seemingly assassinate Mia in front of Ethan and not tell him a damn thing. No! Chris pulls Ethan and Rose out and brings them to a safe house where it's easy to assume Chris would reveal everything to Ethan when they got there. But on the way, they are intercepted by Mother Miranda, who is stupidly being transported in the same caravan. Chris forever perpetuating the all brawn, no brains trophy. Here in Romania, we get to witness how utterly powerful Ethan is. Unlike Louisiana, everything here is made directly of the main megamycete, and most are genetically modified by Miranda in a creature that she calls the Kadu, which is a nematode exposed to the mold from the super colony. Now, all of the Kadu were given to all the leaders of all the major houses. You got Alcina, Donna, Heisenberg, and Salvatore, who are all then systematically slaughtered by Ethan, who again has had no training. Alcina and Heisenberg also had their own armies that failed to keep Ethan away. And on Ethan's journey, he and us learn that he's dead. Like dead. Like, bro, straight up a molded. You remember those guys, right? From Resident Evil 7? He's like them, but he's the special one. He also learns, and we also learn that if he ends the megamycete, he will die with it. Oh, I forgot to mention, every time he kills one of the lords, he gets this little container filled with the body of Rose. Like, I don't know what the process is, but Miranda split Rose up into 4 jars and gave them all to the lords expressly for Ethan to hunt them down. one by one and kill them. That phone call that Alcina gets when he's rampaging through her castle is basically Mother Miranda telling her, "Just let Ethan do what he wants and you'll be fine, okay? Thanks, bye."
I won't let you down.
Miranda wanted and needed the Lords dead, and knew Ethan hunting his child would be the fuel he needed to eradicate all of her failed experiments. And again, with no training, she knew, above all, how absolutely and utterly powerful Ethan was and could be. Her only failure was thinking that she was more powerful than him. Honestly, though, if she had made the Lords attack him at the ceremony one by one after another, she would have succeeded. But she prioritized the death of the Lord independently than as a group. So I know I'm just kind of going over the whole story of the two games, but I just need to make it clear how absolutely insane Ethan's power levels get to over the course of the two games. Outside of Outbreak protagonists, every Resident Evil mainline protagonist has had some kind of training. Claire trained with Barry and Chris. Leon had just graduated from Police Academy. Chris and Jill were both STARS members. Sheva was a guerrilla soldier and a BSAA operative. Shit, Rebecca Chambers is STARS too. And Billy, he's a grizzled criminal who's rough and tumble. These are some of the toughest people to exist in the Resident Evil universe.
I've expanded my services.
And Ethan could take every single one of them. He wouldn't. But he could. And I think this is where Capcom Division 1 screwed up. They killed our lovable himbo who just wanted to hang out with his wife and kid. And, Ethan deserved that. He deserved more than anyone to live. No one has sacrificed more than Ethan has. Ethan deserved far more than what Division 1 gave. And, we can argue that Albert Wesker has given more than Ethan. But everything that Wesker has given has been out of greed and his own potential gain. Nothing that we can look at and be like, oh yeah, maybe he didn't deserve to die. Ethan deserves to live. He was the most powerful BOW in existence. And he was also the best dad in existence. Rest in peace, Ethan Winters. Gone, but not forgotten. So I played this game in VR on PS5, and it was my first experience with the game, and god damn, it was a blast. Like, from start to finish. It isn't as good mechanically as, say, Resident Evil 4 VR, but it was very, very fun. I've also been playing it flat too, and that is still a damn good time. But it's a real shame, in my opinion, that they didn't keep a similar horror tone as they did for Resident Evil 7. There was some real potential there, especially in like House Benviento and many of the sections of Castle Dimitrescu, and some of the Foundry even, granted. I really appreciated the campy tone in this, and I believe that a better balance could have been struck, but otherwise, it's a great continuation of Ethan's saga, even if it is an undeserved end. This, however, brings me back to something I brought up in my Resident Evil 4 VR review. Resident Evil 7 needs to be brought all the way up to the PSVR 2. I don't know shit about programming, but damn, like hire Prey Dog to help you fix it for PSVR 2. The PSVR 1 is getting harder and harder to find, which you need the camera, which is even harder to find. Please Capcom, please just port it to PSVR 2. Now, and I'll end with this. If you have a PS5 and the PSVR 2, definitely go experience this game in VR. It is so much fun. And, well, stuff like this is way better in VR anyways.
What the hell? You
Ungrateful, selfish wretch! You come into my house! You lay your filthy man hands on my daughters! And now you even try to steal my property! You'll be sliced to ribbons!
Man, Mother, I bring you fresh prey.
You are so kind to me, daughters. Now, let's take a look at him. Wow. Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Yes, Mother.
Starting to go a little stiff.
Then let's devour his man flesh quickly, Mother. I am the one who captured him.
Now, daughters. First, I must inform old Miranda. But later, well, there will be enough for everyone. Put him up. Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters. You ruined everything!
Anyway, that's it. That's the video. Slosh out.